Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Season 3, Week 14, Hits and Picks. I'm sure you all missed us. We decided to take the week off for Turkey Day. So, boys, we will start there. How was your Turkey Days?
It wasn't bad. I worked.
You worked?
Got time and a half.
There you go.
It was fun. I had a good time with the fam down at the farmhouse. Squeezing, I think it was 10 people and 4 dogs. That was kind of interesting, but great.
10 people?
Yeah, it was me, my mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, JT, Angie, aunt, uncle, my cousin, and then Hazel and Teddy, and then Bella and Daisy.
How many bedrooms is it?
Just 2, and then the attic loft. So
Okay.
a lot of room upstairs. It was fun, man. Unfortunately, I was sick pretty much until Saturday. Just felt like a bag of trash. But we're on the upswing, boys. We're on the upswing.
Did you go to like some kind of service and eat outside
That's
No,
what I asked.
That's the
him.
farmhouse.
with like a big cross?
Yeah, there's 3 crosses in the yard.
Oh, okay, I thought it was like an
Yeah,
outdoor service
that's-
kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too.
Yeah,
I
we-
asked him before we started.
We woke up Saturday and did hamburgers and hot dogs on the fire and just kicked it outside, started drinking, and then had Thanksgiving dinner, I think at like 5 or 6. It was a great time. It was a great time. Happy to be back with the boys, though. I haven't been in the stew in a while.
It's great to be back. Always good to be back.
How was your Thanksgiving, Ty?
It was good. Didn't do too well. I jumped around a little bit, but good. Nothing out of the ordinary. Had my first dinner at my parents', then went to Courtney's parents, and then went out to my aunt and uncle's. Do the same thing every year. Tradition never breaks, baby.
That's right.
So,
And it was fun just getting fat for a couple days.
oh yeah, no doubt.
You know what I mean?
hmm
Just eating with no mercy.
Are we turkey guys here?
Absolutely not.
I'm not a big turkey guy either.
I mean, one day a year, I'll eat
Yeah.
it, but like I'm never wanting it throughout the
I
year.
don't dislike it, but I don't like it.
The older I've gotten, I'll eat one piece because I
Mhm.
know Thanksgiving, but I'm just on the ham.
It's all about the sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, big question: white or dark meat? It should be pretty easy.
It's got to be dark meat.
Ty,
I don't really know, to be honest.
it's dark.
Yeah, it's
Dark
got,
Yeah.
by far superior.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like turkey. It's like
Dry.
dry.
sometimes.
Yeah.
You gotta. Zarly, he always makes a good turkey.
Uh huh.
His is always good.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's dry, it's trash.
Like I'm much more of a Christmas ham guy than
yeah.
a Thanksgiving turkey.
I'm not a big ham guy.
I fucking love ham.
I mean, it's
I
all
love
right.
ham
I'd rather have like the sliced deli meat ham.
than like a cooked ham.
Yeah.
Really?
Dude,
Mhm.
We did a turkey, we did a ham, and then we did a wild boar ham.
Oh wow,
And it was
that sounds
fire.
fucking-
You guys
that
killed a
sounds
wild boar?
delicious.
Yeah, dude. No,
They
no,
are
my-
out in the country.
No, but it's funny though. Speaking of wild boar, though, they've now been spotted in 21 counties in West Virginia, and like that's not really good because they just destroy everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually saw them last year, 2 years ago, when I was driving around Dub V for work. I saw 3 of them on the side of the road, and they are massive
Really?
and massive individuals.
Yeah.
Like those, if they're threatened, they'll come after you, right?
Dude, they
And they
will
can
kill.
kill-
They will kill us.
Yeah.
Like they will literally kill us.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
yeah. So shout out the boar, man.
Yeah.
Do your thing, dog.
Got to be strapped at the farm.
That's right, man.
They see
Coyotes,
anything
bears?
crazy out there?
No, but we can sometimes hear coyotes.
Uh-huh.
But when we let the dogs out, we got straight flashlights and everything because we have a relative that lives up the street, and she said one day she was just working in the kitchen and a black bear was just staring in her
You're
kitchen
shitting
window.
me.
No, dude. So yeah, you definitely got to keep guard out there for sure.
I got coyotes by me. Have you heard a pack of them howl? It's terrifying.
It is terrifying.
I've always heard just one, but this was like it had to be 4 or 5. And I was like, okay, I'm going inside. Fuck that.
I saw someone on Facebook the other day, like up in Mozart. They said they saw be careful. I guess they've seen them before. That like there's been bobcats around.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like people catching them on their trail cams.
I was like, that's fucking crazy. And then I like looked up a bobcat because I was like, which one's a bobcat? I was like, these fuckers like,
Oh, dude.
yeah.
They're tough.
Yeah.
Tough looking. But yeah, coyotes are fascinating because they're the only animal, I believe, in the United States that's in every single county of
Mhm.
every single state. And the way they know how to reproduce is when they do their calls and the mom knows how many she should hear. And
Yeah.
if she doesn't hear the right amount, she goes in heat and has like a whole litter of them. That's why there's so
Jesus.
many coyotes.
That's crazy.
crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
Shout out Daddy Rogan. I learned that on there.
All right, boys. Where do we want to start? Where do we want to start this week?
I mean, do we want to start talking about the games last week?
Yeah, we can talk about the games first, or just talk about
Okay.
how we're feeling about how things are starting to shape out. About WVU.
Anyone have any thoughts on the game?
Great game.
It was.
It was a really good game. I honestly thought Ohio State was going to win. I'm not going to lie.
I thought they were before he threw that pick. I was like, they're going to march down the field and score. I'm not sure how many targets Marvin Harrison had, but
Not enough.
they don't like
They don't
force him the
throw-
ball,
yeah.
which with him you should.
Yeah, 100%.
I feel like Igbuka's hurt.
Yeah.
He hasn't done much
Yeah.
all year. But Harrison even said he's not fully decided on if he's going pro.
There's no way he's coming back.
I don't. He's going to get a bag, and they got some other sick
that's
receiver
true.
coming
Someone
in.
was telling me that he could stay at Ohio State another year and make more money than he would even being like the second overall pick in the NFL.
He would
Oh, I
make at
guarantee
least
it.
$4
Yeah.
million, at
Yeah.
least, probably more.
Why wouldn't you though? I mean, if you can make more money staying in, see, that's
He's
That's the
going
cool
number
part.
2, so if he doesn't want to go to that team, he should stay.
Only
Yeah.
thing is you're risking injury.
That's
I mean,
facts.
that's about it. But
I bet Caleb Williams comes back. I guarantee this season crushed his draft
I
status.
see. I think he'll still go.
I don't think he can handle another season.
Yeah, I think he'll be gone.
I don't think like
I
he can take it.
I still think he's going number one without a question.
Oh,
My
for
personal
sure,
opinion.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think he played as good down the stretch as people would have liked to seen, but I don't know. I just think he's the number one draft pick pretty easily.
I think
my
he should
opinion.
stop being a bitch and try to hang in the Big Ten and
Yeah.
see how it happens. I mean,
Now-
why not?
yeah, I want to see that. I forgot he's going to the Big Ten.
Yeah,
Riley's
year.
got to recruit some defense.
yeah. Well, it's the same shit. I mean, even when he was in Oklahoma, it was the
Yeah, it's
Same shit.
Same exact thing.
Yeah.
He's not that great of a coach.
no
No.
offensive. He's a great
Yeah.
offensive coach, but yeah,
But there were even some games where like I don't know, like they have all those star receivers and
Yeah.
they spread the ball out almost too much
mm-hmm.
to where they don't focus on any one of
Yeah.
them.
So, WVU 8-4. Jake, great job. You predicted it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy. 8 wins. I can't complain about that. Interesting. I'm interested to see who we get in a bowl game and see how we can hang there.
When's that? That'll be Sunday.
I believe so is when
Yeah.
they pick everything. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with 8-4. Can't complain with that. Just kind of still kind of kind of confused. I keep going back and forth. Like, obviously, I've been a Neil Brown guy this whole time, and I like Neil. I just think there's a better option out there right now that we can try to go after. So I kind of teeter-totter back and forth because now that the season's over, I don't know. I still think I don't know if an 8-4 season erases the prior 4. It's nice to get to 8-4. I worry that we're going to extend him and we're just going to go back in our older ways because Texas and Oklahoma are leaving, but we still got Utah coming in who's good, and Cam Rising's coming back. Arizona's on a roll who will be good.
Arizona's going to be the favorite next year.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm Colorado will be definitely better than they were.
No doubt.
So I don't know.
They better get transfers because they had people decommit. 3 top players decommitted from them.
He'll get guys in.
Yeah.
I think he will.
So I don't know. How do you feel?
I feel good. Like there's a lot of hope for next year. I think Neil should be back. It's kind of bad timing. Like he finally put together like a good season, and now the guy you want is available. I think the best thing is Jimbo take a year off, and then we see how this year goes, and then we decide. But you just can't fire him at 8-4 unless you have like the deal set up in stone, like Jimbo's going to be the coach, because you don't fire him with no one else like set up.
Yeah, I just have I really, and I might be naive here, I have a hard time thinking that Jimbo wouldn't instantly take the job. I really do. I mean, especially, I know we touched on this the last time we were here. That interview last year, literally is recent as last year. He basically was like, essentially insinuating like, yes, I would come home. Home is home. You never say never. I don't think he realized that the opportunity would actually become available. I don't think obviously
I think
he
he did.
Do you think?
Because he knew he was on the hot seat at A&M.
Yeah.
And like if he goes somewhere else, it'd be somewhere potentially like West Virginia.
Yeah, I don't know. I think when you if you would bring a guy in like Jimbo, I really think that instantly changes an entire culture of a program. And I think we're too deep in right now with NB that I don't see people shifting their opinions on him. That's where I kind of teeter-totter back and forth, because he got to 8-4, and now you're seeing the excuse that I've even said, like, well, yeah, the schedule wasn't that tough. And I don't like to be that guy, but now that the season's over, regular season's over, let's just call it what it is. We didn't play Iowa State, we didn't play Kansas, we didn't play Kansas State, and we didn't play Texas. If you remove the 4 new schools and you add those 4 schools in,
you're losing a couple more games.
yeah, I don't see us being. Now again, you only play the schedule that's there. I get that. I understand that. And I know, these schedules are made in advance. I fully understand that. I like to just try to keep an even opinion on all of this, because if you do remove the 4 and add in the 4 that we didn't play, that are 4 great teams, to be so honest with you, I don't know if we even get 4 wins.
You pray for 2-2.
Yeah.
In that stretch.
So, but again, I'm happy. I don't want to sound not happy. I'm very pleased with 8-4. I'm just interested to see what happens after this.
Can I compliment WVU?
Yeah, go ahead.
Or not WVU, a player.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Garrett Green got so much better
as
the year went on.
He's really
At the beginning of the year, I was like, this dude is very limited throwing the ball. And by the end of the year, he was throwing fucking dimes, dude.
One bad game.
He's good.
I agree.
He's good.
I agree.
Yeah.
I love him.
I'll give Neil Brown props on one thing. He won out and won. He beat Pitt and Texas Tech with his backup quarterback.
Yeah.
You had to change your game plan significantly to do that.
We didn't have a quarterback, so
that's true. Yeah.
We were starting a tight end.
And one thing we have to improve, which Neil Brown's in charge of.
Sorry.
Special teams. We let
Dude, I
3
was
kick returns.
cracking up the other night.
That's the only reason that game was close.
Yeah, it was so funny. It was comical.
Oh.
Like WVU, I watched like the whole game, and WVU was just going 80 yards in like 3 minutes, like 7 plays, scoring touchdowns. Then just boom, kick return. Did it again, boom, kick return. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I could live with one that game. As soon as I saw 2, I was like, this is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, it was hilarious. I was literally laughing. Like it was funny.
Did you see the 2 transfer portal quarterbacks in Big 12?
Mm-mm.
Blake Shapen, he was the quarterback for Baylor.
Mm-hmm.
He's all right. And Will Howard for Kansas State.
From Kansas State?
Yeah.
What?
So I bet he goes to like Baylor.
Dude, Will Howard, I thought Will Howard was a stud.
He is, but they have another backup that's really good.
Wow, I didn't see that.
I think they just eventually like to move off these dudes, to be honest.
And
like it's just time sometimes.
I feel like they benched him for 1 game and then they brought him back in.
Someone told me forget the dude's name, not from the Big 12. Is it Washington State? What's Washington
Cam
State's
Ward.
Cam Ward.
Yeah, I'm hearing he's going to transfer too.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
He's a dog.
Yeah, he's good too.
He's a junior, I think, but he might be like a grad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he graduates and he gets another year.
Can't believe I'm about to say this, though, but I think with the realignment, it's quite evident that the Big Ten has to be the best football conference now.
Getting like
Oregon,
USC.
Washington, USC,
Yeah.
UCLA, then you have
Probably.
You know?
So we're
Yeah.
going to get better games more often with that conference.
Yeah, but I mean, then, that's the thing. Like, people were bitching about it. Like, all college football is different. It's all about money, blah blah blah. And like, it's always been about money. It might be more about money now than it's ever been. But it's like, dude, every week, pretty much, there's going to be huge freaking games.
Facts.
Every week. I mean, it's going to be awesome. Like, it's just like, I don't know. That's where, like, in a way, like, some people still complain about the transfer portal and stuff. But like, I feel like that's why it's like becoming a huge part why college football is like a little more open now. Like, there's really not a dominant team. Like, you can't sit here and like convince me on, like, say Georgia is like flat out going to win the national championship. Like, you can't convince me on that right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I literally think there is like,
They struggle with Georgia Tech.
yeah, like I literally think there's like 7 or 8 teams that could win the national championship.
Yeah.
Rivalry game, though.
Yeah, like I still think
true,
like
true.
if I still think Ohio State could win it if they got it, if they were able to
Yeah.
get in. Like, you can't convince me on like any of the top 7 or 8. So.
We were so close to pure chaos on Saturday. At
So
one point,
close.
Florida was beating Florida State. Bama almost lost. Georgia Tech was in a battle. And
Washington
just like,
was losing.
if just one of those teams lost, it was going to be chaos.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Question: where do you think WVU's ranked start of next season?
They're not going to be ranked.
I think they will be.
I don't.
I don't.
I don't think they're going to be ranked. I honestly don't see. I don't see them.
They got a
being
lot
ranked.
coming back, don't they?
They do. Their line is going to be a struggle because Frazier's probably going to go to the NFL. Nestor graduates, and then I'm
Dude,
not
that
sure
number
about
22
anyone
is
else.
so fast.
I know,
Oh,
and
he's
that's
so good.
that's why I worry, though. I mean, you got a guy like Donaldson and him. All a team has to do is be like,
Here's
"Hey,
some
baby,
money."
I got the bag," and then you're gone.
Yeah.
See that's what I was telling my mom. It's like you go from an era, and this is the easiest example for her to understand. Like Pat White, Steve Slayton, Noah Devine.
Yeah.
You know, every year those guys are coming
Yeah.
back. Now it's like
You don't know.
I don't think there's any scenario where Garrett Green leaves, but like a running back tandem, I think I will be shocked if both of them stay. I want them to stay.
Yeah.
2 running backs are going to leave, whether it's the 2 behind those 2 or one of those 2 and then another one.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of those 2 and then another one.
Out of all of them, though, I never thought I'd say this in the beginning of the year, but I'd rather CJ leave than Jaheim.
Yeah.
I mean, Jaheim is a massive talent. Like he is fast.
Dude,
He can
that dude
catch the
was
ball.
scooting
He
down
can
the
run the
field.
ball. Like, and again, I love CJ Donaldson, but there are times where you see him play and you're like, are you even trying?
He's hurt so much. too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was definitely banged up.
And I don't want to knock on him. I know
Oh, he's
he gets
good.
beat
He's
up.
really
He's
good.
very
Yeah.
good. But sometimes, like, he gets the ball, and I'm like, really? Like,
Yeah.
I want to see shotgun formation with Jaheim White and Donaldson right next to GG.
dude, and
I want to see that.
you know who that is, dog? That's Pat White, Steve Slayton, and
Yeah.
Owen Schmidt.
Because CJ can block.
Hell yeah. Jaheim can
I'm
block.
sure he can. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Ty, Pitt, How we
Nothing.
feel?
Best 3-9 team of all time, though. I know that.
Dana.
Um,
Is Dana coming home? OC?
I would love Dana to become Pitt's offensive coordinator.
I'm rooting for that.
Signetti is finally gone. He kind of is like a Mark Whipple, who was Pitt's offensive coordinator when they won the national championship, like slinging around the field. But the only thing is, like, I was texting a Pitt guy that's like all over the boards and stuff. He's like, I would love that to happen, but him and Narduzzi would just butt heads because for whatever reason, Narduzzi just think it's still like 1970 and just like score 21 points and then just play defense.
It's crazy. You just had the ACC championship game was a national championship for you, dude. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, did I say the national
Yeah,
championship?
it's
did,
all right.
yeah,
I knew what you
okay,
meant.
yeah. But well, it kind of was in a way.
There's another coach available for OC for you guys, Matt Canada.
He's an old Pitt offensive coordinator.
I could see it
He
because
was
there's no way he's
there-
getting a job in the NFL.
I think he was the offensive coordinator when the year Pitt beat Clemson when Deshaun Watson was there and they were number 2. Yeah, he was really good with Pitt. Like, he was a really good offensive coordinator with
He
Pitt.
might be good in college. He just can't do pros.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Just go
So-
back to what you're good at.
Nick Saban couldn't do pros. I mean, it is funny. Like
Yeah.
you see these guys that are incredible college coaches and they go to the NFL and it
Can't
just
do it.
doesn't
Yeah.
translate. It's kind of fascinating, actually.
Yeah. So last thing on Pitt, I think they're gonna have some dudes transfer out. Unfortunately, Gavin Bartholomew was an All-American tight end as a freshman. This was his junior year. Last 2 years, they just completely forgot about him. Didn't give him the ball. Rodney Hammond was supposed to be really good this year. He finally was getting the ball at the end of the year again. I got a feeling he might leave too. So I think they're gonna have a couple guys leave. Unfortunately.
I mean, if you can't pass it, then Hammond's fucked.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know about the quarterback situation. I don't know if they're going to go out and try to get someone, or if they're going to roll with either Vair or Yarnell next year. I don't know what's going to happen after this year, dude. It was a fucking smack in the face, just like, holy shit. Like I said, like, it's just crazy. 2 years ago, you were in the ACC championship, and now it's like you're nothing.
I was reading comments today. They like put out the Pitt schedule at the beginning of the year,
Yeah.
and they said like, "What's their record?" And all the Pitt fans were like,
10-2.
9-3, 10-2. It's like, oh,
I thought anywhere from 10-2 to 8-4. I really did.
really? Like we flipped with you guys. What
Yeah.
should have happened?
Yeah, it was a bad year. I mean, what the hell can you do?
Sorry,
Can
dude.
only go up.
Yeah, spend a little money, bring in some guys,
Yeah.
and you're right back in it,
Yeah,
man.
so-
You're right back in it.
Does Pitt have like a big booster?
They're doing that like that Oakland original stuff, which is kind of like NIL stuff, but I don't know if they got like a real big booster or what. So, yeah, I have no clue.
You don't have a guy that like owns an MLB team or anything like that.
No,
They got
unfortunately,
Marino.
Yeah,
that's one good thing.
That's
We
a
got a
big one.
lot of rich guys who played in the NFL.
That's good.
Yeah, like I think they've been helping, like Fitzgerald, McCoy. I know Aaron Donald's always doing stuff with the school. So
Why was I'm happy you said that. I just remembered this. Why was Larry Fitzgerald in the box for the Notre Dame Stanford game?
I have no clue.
Does he have like
I
a
didn't
kid
know
or
that.
something? Yeah, me and Neil were sitting there watching it on his phone, and we were just so confused. We're like,
Mhm.
why is Larry Fitzgerald? Which I mean, he's a goat. Like nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that, but he's not a sportscaster
Mm-mm.
guy. I don't think.
Yeah, I have no clue. That is weird. So yeah, that's all I got though. So
Let's
we
fucking
wanna
go.
do the games.
Let's do it,
You
dog.
guys want to do your records?
Yeah. So
And I
I
can announce mine.
tallied mine up.
Hold on 1 second. Are we at 140 games? It should be 140, right?
I can't do mental math, but looking at my numbers, I know I'm definitely close.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me your record.
So I have written down 73 and 63 at 54%.
So what would that be? 73 and 63. That's 136 games.
Yeah,
but that
so
makes
you-
sense because I have
Plus
4
ties,
pushes.
So that's
Yeah.
140. Okay,
Yeah.
so my record's right. That's why I asked.
Did you got my record written down?
I do not.
I mean, my old one.
Yeah, Jake, tell me yours again.
Mine is 73 and 63, sitting at 54%.
73, 63, and 4.
And 4, yes.
Brady?
What was my old record?
56 and 59.
So 56. So
And that's 2 weeks behind.
oh, that's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Well, I don't got mine. I went 10-5 last week, so I'm still behind both of you, I believe.
66. So I'll have you at 66 and 5
And 5.
and
yeah.
64. Jake, you're right on my ass. I'm 75, 60, and 5.
Yeah, thank God I made up ground like 2 weeks ago. Whenever when we did this, I didn't think there was a shot in hell. But that week after, I went 9-1, and then this week I just went 9-6 somehow.
Yeah.
So
I
I
was-
saved myself.
I was 5-5 the week before.
So you're 71 and 69.
The race is getting tight, boys. We're all over 500.
We're all doing good.
Let's go,
Yeah,
dude. We're
all
all
over
over 500, baby.
We're better
So-
than that guy on game day.
That's right.
He's fucking awful.
Stanford Steve?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love Stanford
he's
Steve, but he is bad
terrible.
on
Yeah.
there. He is
Which
bad.
I mean, it's kind of tough because they give you some weird games to pick.
yeah,
Like I feel like they give him those, and
Mhm.
they're like, "You pick what you want."
yeah.
So that kind of puts him in a hole.
It's so
Yeah.
funny, dude. It always pops up like Stanford Steve, and his record's like 10 and 405. It makes me laugh. But yeah, no. Shout out Stanford Steve. He's a funny dude.
All right. We ready?
Let's ride, dude.
We got the Power 5 conference championship games this week. College football flew by. It always does, I feel like.
It's painful that it's almost over.
Yeah, right? So, all right, we will start Friday night. We have the last ever Pac-12 championship.
That's crazy.
Last ever.
That's crazy.
It is.
Which props to them making this Friday night.
Agreed.
Like that'll be the game that day.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Smart.
All right, we got Oregon versus Washington. Oregon's -9.5. Over under is 66.5.
I'm going to be so honest, guys. This line throws me off a little bit because I think the first game, the line was 3. I know Washington's kind of been struggling.
Washington was favored by 3, too.
Yeah, they've been struggling the last couple of weeks, but they're still winning. I know Oregon's on a roll. I'm gonna take Oregon -9.5. I think. I don't know. I think if they get in the college football playoff, they're the team.
They're dangerous.
They're the team that's dangerous.
This 9.5's so many points.
So much.
Oregon's gonna put up 40. I believe. Like
Mhm.
they're gonna put
Washington's
up points.
offense hasn't looked the same the last couple
No,
of weeks.
but I think they'll sling it. So I'm gonna go over 66.5 because I just can't lay 9.5 points.
I'm also going Oregon -9.5. I hate to say it because I've been rooting for Washington all year, but I think they are going to shit stomp Washington. I just have this feeling like Oregon is like they've looked so good all year. Like even against Washington, they looked really good.
This is the Heisman game.
This is the
Yeah.
Heisman.
Well, if Bo Nix plays good, he's got it.
Yeah, like
If not,
Oregon
Jaden
just keeps
Daniels.
trending up and Washington's trending down a little bit. I just got this feeling that Oregon's going to absolutely smack them. So I'm going Oregon -9.5.
Which Washington, McMillan's been hurt, so that's hurt them a good
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's 100%.
So, all right. Next game, it is the Big 12 championship. Saturday at noon, I believe. Oklahoma State versus Texas. Texas is -14. Over under is 54.5. What's your thoughts on Texas? They're starting to look a little better again.
They are starting to look
Yeah.
a little better. I think they struggle this week, though. I'm taking Oklahoma State +14. 2 touchdowns is a lot. Oklahoma State, I know they almost blew it this week, but again, hate to be a loyalist type guy, but Oklahoma State's battling for the actual Big 12. We don't want to see Texas win the Big 12 and then leave.
Yeah.
So 2 touchdowns, 14 points. That's a lot. So I'm going to roll with the Cowboys and the points. Definitely think Texas wins this game, but 2 touchdowns in a conference championship game. It's just hard for me not to take the dog
2
here.
years in a row, no Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship. Very strange.
That is very
Yeah.
strange.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Oklahoma State +14. I can't lay that number in a championship game. They'll go as Ollie Gordon goes. If they want to have a close game, he's got to have at least 150 yards and probably 2 touchdowns. My thought is, though, Texas might stack the box. And if they do that, Oklahoma State's not going to be able to throw very much against them. But I'm still going to take 14. That's just too big of a number.
Yeah, that's a lot of points. I don't really like this line at all.
Texas had a good bit of injuries last week, too. I think Xavier Worthy
Worthy
got hurt.
Yeah.
And
Arch Manning got in.
he did.
Played the whole fourth quarter.
How'd he do? Did he play it?
I don't think he really did anything. I don't think they were like slinging the ball around that much. But I'm gonna take the over 54.5.
They got a decision to make next year. Quinn Ewers said he's coming back.
I think Arch is out.
You think he's leaving?
yeah.
I think he's out too.
Yeah.
I mean, one of their quarterbacks is definitely leaving.
think it's gonna be
Malik
him.
or
You know where he's going
Arch.
to go? He's
Where?
going to go to Ole Miss. He's going to play.
Jackson Dart's back next year.
Are we sure? I thought Jackson Dart was a little old fart.
I think he's got another year.
Well, again, I think Arch either goes to Tennessee or Ole Miss. I think
Mhm.
it's either Uncle Peyton or Uncle Eli's team that
The
he's
whole
gonna
thing
go
is,
to.
I know Joe Milton's done after this year, but I'm pretty sure Tennessee's also got a 5-star on the
Nico.
bench that they're
Yeah.
very, very high on.
Yeah, he's not going to Tennessee.
Yeah, so I don't know where he's going to go, but I think Arch is going to be the one that's out of there. So, yeah, I'll take over 54.5 though. All right, SEC Championship Saturday. I believe this one's at 3:30. Georgia versus Bama. Georgia's -5.5. Over under is 55.5.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me not to take Georgia here. I mean, I know they've had a couple close calls, but Bama also had a close call at the skin of their teeth here. I think Carson Beck's balling. I think Brock Bowers is back.
He has been back, but I don't think he really did much last week.
Yeah, I don't know if he played last week, to be honest.
I didn't see his stats.
Yeah,
so he
I
might
really
not
didn't
have.
see the game. Yeah, I don't think he played though.
He was back, and I don't know what happened
Yeah.
last week.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take the Dogs here. Go Dogs! If this is only a touchdown. If it was kind of like a OSU or even Oregon line, I'd easily be swayed the other way. But I could see Georgia winning this game by 6 or even 7.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the Dogs.
I'm taking Bama. I mean, with either of these teams, it's a toss-up. I'm not gonna lay 5.5. So give me Bama.
I'm also taking Bama just because I want pure fucking chaos.
I mean,
the
if
whole
that,
reason I'm doing it is because I want to see chaos.
if that happens, do you leave Georgia out?
No, I think they both get in.
That'll be tough because Georgia hasn't. I mean, they were in the SEC and they had no non-conference games, but like they had the easiest schedule they possibly could have in the SEC.
I don't think there's a scenario where Georgia gets left out.
Me either.
really
You're
don't.
probably right, but
Yeah,
I'd love to see them get left out if Bama wins
yeah. I don't see it.
because you're gonna have a lot of tough calls.
100%. I mean,
Texas,
but
Oregon,
again,
Washington.
okay,
Florida State.
Let's talk this then. Bama somehow beats Georgia, but Texas beats Oklahoma State. How can you put Bama in over Texas when Texas beat them?
I think they would. A lot of people saying that, and I'm not saying it's right, but for some reason, I think if Georgia beats Bama, they'll have them drop Texas. They'll have them go over Texas just because I know they beat them in the head-to-head, but it was just like an early-on win.
If Bama loses, they're
I
out.
just have that feeling. Yeah, Bama's definitely out if they lose. Yeah, no doubt. Okay, let's stop right here before we go to the next game. What do you think the rankings are going to be? So I'll go butt in towards the end. Obviously, tomorrow the rankings: Georgia will be 1, Michigan will be 2.
I think Michigan's 1.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. 3 is going to be who? Washington? No, not Washington. Yeah, probably Washington.
Should be Washington.
Did Oregon sneak in there last week?
No,
No.
Washington snuck in at 4. So I'm going to think Washington's going to be 3. Who was 5? It was Florida State. Florida State's probably going to be 4.
Yeah.
Then Oregon probably 5.
Ohio State
so,
6.
So right
You
now,
think Ohio State's going to be ahead of Texas?
I mean, I do because that's just kind of again, that's just kind of that's Ohio State gets all those
They do.
little nods.
I'd like to see them. I'd like it to be, who did I say 6? Texas. I'd like to see Bama 7 and Ohio State 8. That's
Right-
what I'd
right
I
now-
don't. It probably they're not going to put Ohio State probably behind all those 1-loss teams.
right now
You're
it's
probably right.
Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, Washington.
Yeah, so Michigan I think
So-
will go to 2.
Michigan, Georgia, Washington, Florida State.
Washington's going to go to 3 unless they have fucking Oregon jump Florida State, which I guess wouldn't surprise me either.
They won't do that yet. I think depending on how next week goes, then maybe.
Yeah.
If they beat Washington, Oregon will jump to
I mean, if
3.
Florida State goes undefeated, how do you keep them out?
I know that's what's hard, but I do kind of use the philosophy like what you just said about Texas and Bama, which is correct, and I know that was really early on. But remember, Washington and Oregon was still very early
Yeah.
October too.
Yeah.
The only reason this is a conversation is because Jordan Travis is hurt.
Yeah, no
If
doubt.
he-
No
1000%.
doubt.
And if they take that into account, It's kind of fucked
They're
up.
definitely taking that into account.
Yeah.
That's why they took him out, I think, this week. It really is.
Yeah.
But also, I guess how can't you take that into account?
You have to.
You know what I
100%.
mean? Like because let's just say an undefeated Florida State gets in at 4.
Mhm.
Let's just say it. Regardless if it's Georgia or Michigan at 1, I think either of those teams absolutely smash Florida State
Hello.
without Jordan Travis.
All right, bye.
So let's say Washington and Oregon play this weekend, and whoever wins that game, their quarterback gets hurt, and he's out. Then what do you do? Do you keep them out too?
Depends who wins. If Washington wins and they're undefeated, you got to put them in. But if Oregon beats Washington
And Bo Nix
and
gets
Bo
hurt.
Nix gets hurt, that's chaos. That's the biggest chaos you can think of, because Oregon would avenge their loss, their double overtime loss, but then they also would lose their Heisman quarterback. Like that, to me, that's the definition of chaos for this week. And if one of these big time quarterbacks gets hurt, a 1-loss team, I don't know. I mean, listen, I don't have anything bad to say about Florida State. And again, you play the schedule that you're given, but the ACC, probably out of all of the Power Fives, would probably have to be the weakest right there at the Big 12, I would assume. I think the Big 12 probably had a little more ranked team action, but still, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm under the assumption that if Oregon beats Washington, Oregon jumps an undefeated Florida State if they somehow win.
Who beat Louisville this year? Was
Notre
it
Dame.
Pitt.
Pitt?
Yeah.
I'm kind of pissed they
Or
did.
no, Kentucky beat them last week.
Kentucky.
Kentucky and Pitt.
Okay, so they got 2 losses.
Yes.
Okay. I was looking at the rankings from last week, and they were 10-1. I was thinking, like, if they were undefeated too, like, how would that go?
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know, boys. I think well, I guess what do you think the rankings will be? Ty gave his. What do you think will be?
I'm going to go Michigan, Georgia, Washington, Florida State, Oregon, Texas, Bama.
Ohio State 8th.
Well,
That's the
fuck.
tough
I know it's
part.
hard.
Yeah. I don't see them putting Ohio State 8th.
Yeah.
That's the
I don't see them do. I don't see them doing it either.
They should, just because, like, you lost. You're not in your conference championship game, so, like, you shouldn't have a chance to get in.
Yeah.
Like, recency bias, like, you lost late in the year, lost all your momentum, and you can't prove it this week that you should be in. So
Now, I know
you're
the
fucked.
game was in the big house and it was in Ann Arbor, but like Michigan's offense is terrible.
Yeah, it's not great.
Like they can run the ball. They got 2 of the
Yeah.
best running backs in the country.
Yeah.
And obviously you can win that way. That's how WVU won a lot of their games. That's how Michigan's winning a lot of their games. But how, like, I don't see the college football playoff is just a completely different monster. You're going to have to be able to launch the ball down the
Yeah.
field to win.
I mean,
he's JJ.
he played decent in that game, and their defense is really good. Like, I don't know.
He's a great ball
yeah,
manager. I'll give it
yeah.
to him. Like, not I'm not ripping him, but like, you don't see him dropping back, throwing for 250,
No,
300
no.
yards a game. And
He threw 9 passes, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Something crazy like
Yeah.
that. Like, they obviously don't trust him too much.
But he was hurt. He threw the ball a lot more in the Ohio State game. I think he's a lot more healthy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see them winning any game in the playoff.
I'm gonna
I
make
can see
it.
them winning it.
Really?
I'm
No.
on that end this year, dude. I don't.
They looked good last year too, and they got smoked.
Yeah, you're right. They did, but I don't think there's a dominant team like last year, though. Like Georgia was fucking dominant. Like
They lost to TCU last year.
I that's also a fact. That is also a fact. I don't know, dude. Like I'm higher on Michigan this year than last year.
I'm gonna throw a curveball here. I think you got Georgia 1, Michigan 2, Washington 3, Oregon 4, Florida State 5,
I could see this.
Texas 6, Ohio State 7, and Bama 8.
So if Bama beats Georgia, they're gonna jump all these teams. That's the thing.
It's happened.
Yeah.
I mean, it maybe not that far, but also too, like, I don't want to get too lost in the number in front of the, because like we've never had it to where the top 8 teams, any of them can win. I think this is the first year where you pluck in any of those teams and it's like anybody can win.
Yeah.
So like I'm not so much hung up on the number, because even if Bama is 8, if they beat the number 1 team, you should jump very far.
So the number 1 spot is going to be highly talked about, because if Florida State wins, they're probably going to be number 4. So, like, do you put Michigan number 1 or Georgia number 1 if they both win? Because if you win that game, you're going to face number 4, and you should crush Florida State.
Yeah.
If you want
so you have an easy road to the title game.
If you want a competitive game, you do Michigan 1, Florida State 4. Because if you put Georgia
That'd
1,
be a better match.
Florida State 4, Georgia is
Yeah.
going to beat the shit out of Florida State.
I agree. Yeah.
Which I wouldn't be shocked if they even take that into account.
Oh,
Because they're
going to
be thinking about it like, we don't want another blowout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, last year's national championship stunk.
Oh, it was pathetic.
It was bad.
It stunk.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's a good debate though, because it's I literally have no clue how it's gonna go.
Yeah. It's
I'll
going to be
excited
interesting.
to see. So
Crazy thing is, like this weekend could just fuck everything up, which I'm hoping there's chaos.
Yeah.
You want chaos, dude? Well, I'll let you announce the next game first.
So Michigan, we got the Big Ten championship. Michigan versus Iowa. Michigan's minus 23.5. Over under is 35.5.
You
Jake,
already,
I know you're so
you already
excited
know
about
what I'm
this.
picking, dog. I'm taking the over. 35.5. I mean, Michigan's favored by 23.5. You got to assume they're going to at least be able to score that much. Iowa can get 10 on the board maybe, and it's still not close. I don't know, dude. I'm rooting for the over here. There's nothing more exhilarating than watching Iowa football. I'm rooting for an over. But again, you want chaos. Iowa beats Michigan this weekend. Then what happens?
Michigan's done. They'd
I
be
agree.
done. Yeah.
Michigan's done, and Ohio State jumps them.
Yeah.
So when did you come up with these lines?
Literally when I sent them today. Yeah.
Okay, I was curious if that line changed on the over-under. Someone, I don't want to do the math, but someone was like, with this line, they're predicting that Iowa State might not score a touchdown. Or Iowa.
Yeah, I mean,
With
that's pretty
how
much,
it is.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
This is fucking tough.
Over.
I'm riding the over, too.
Yeah!
I'm riding it.
Iowa ball, baby.
You know what?
One of their games has to go over. And like,
Under 35.5.
Oh, fuck
I
you.
can't do it.
Fuck you.
I can't. It's 35.5. Their games have been like, what, 26.5?
it was 25.5 fucking Saturday. I bet the over. It was 10-10 at half, and it didn't go over.
That's so fire.
So you're counting on Michigan to score 36 points, basically. So I don't know if Iowa will score at all.
Yeah. Or them to get like a defensive touchdown, or yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, give me the under.
31-7, something like that.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
All right, last game, ACC championship. Louisville versus Florida State. Florida State's minus 2.5. Over under is 48.5.
Honestly, this game's a shame because I would have loved to see Jordan Travis in a college football playoff scenario. I'm taking the plumber boy and the points. I'm going to take Louisville plus 2.5.
Louisville, I feel like hasn't been doing as well lately. I think Jamari Thrash is still banged up. Like there was a report a few weeks ago that he was out for the season, then all of a sudden, like he was playing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's banged up a lot. He's not getting the looks he normally did. But earlier in the year, he'd have like 70-yard touchdowns all the time, and he's not getting those touches like he was. I'm going to go Florida State minus 2.5. I think somehow they pull it off.
I'm with you, Brady. I'm also going Florida State minus 2.5. I think Louisville stinks. And I don't know if I keep saying that, if it's because fucking Pitt beat them somehow or what it is.
Jordan's not playing as well.
I think that quarterback's just going to keep getting more comfortable. I like Florida State.
He's a
too.
tall, lanky son of a
Yeah,
bitch.
he is.
Oh yeah, Valdosta, Georgia, Titletown High. Did you watch that show on Netflix?
Titletown, no. I didn't know that was a show.
Yeah, it wasn't that good.
Damn.
So
It's a
yeah,
shame.
I'll take Florida State too. All right, that is. Well, no, it won't be the last college games. Next time, the next one will be.
We're running the gauntlet next time, boys. I'm
after
excited.
We got Army Navy
Oh fuck!
next Saturday.
Pumped.
Is that like the only game that
Yeah,
day?
that'll
Yep.
be the only game.
That
So we'll
Over
probably
under is
have
gonna be
9 NFL games and 1 college game, and then the week after that will be when the bowling begins.
will be bowling.
This is when
Every bowl 5-5.
this is
baby.
when the chaos begins, boys, and I'm ready for it. This
Yeah.
is our little slice of chaos.
It is. So, all right, that's it for college for now. Pros. Jake, just go ahead.
I mean, boys, listen, it is what it is. We're fucking back, dog. All it is a little bit of hope, a little bit of tweaking. Get Russ comfortable in the offense, and you see what happens. Our defense is playing incredible. Yeah, we're last in a lot of stats. Well, that's what happens when a team puts 70 points on you in week 3. The averages aren't gonna level out. Very proud of how Russ has been playing. Russ has been running around, getting first downs, scoring touchdowns. Cortland Sutton is a fucking beast. Just learned that David Sills, an old Mounties on the Broncos. That's pretty cool. He was in there a couple plays. I think I'm sitting here confident because we are beating top AFC teams, which is big.
You spoke all this into
I did.
existence. You did, yeah.
I beat the Chiefs. We beat the Bills. We beat the Browns. We beat the Vikings, who are an NFC playoff team. This week is a massive meter test because this one's on the road. We'll get into it in a little bit. But again, you had all those Russ haters. You had all those Sean Payton haters. Oh, 1-5. Fuck you, dude. We're 6-5 now. Over 500. Suck my nuts. We're in the hunt, dog. It is what it is. It is what it is. We're the hottest team in football
That's
right
a
now.
fact.
The hottest fucking team in ball. 5 in a row. Very proud of my guys. I'm very proud of my guys.
You deserve it after last year.
Yeah.
After the
That
last
was
couple
a
of years. he did.
rough-
Yeah, after the last
rough
8
year.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back. We won a Super Bowl and we haven't been over 500 cents. So I'm happy to be 6-5. The philosophy's still kind of there though. I mean, we only have wiggle room for 2 losses because you're not going to get in. You're not going to get in at 9-8. There's a chance you can get in at 10-7. So we still got to keep rolling. The AFC is hella close right now.
The AFC compared to the NFC, like playoff picture, is ridiculous. It's completely different.
Oh, yeah.
So the AFC is by far the superior conference.
No doubt. That's 100%.
Until we beat the
yeah.
shit out of each other, and then everybody's got to run into like a powerhouse of like the Cowboys, Niners, and Eagles. That's the only part that sucks about being in the better regular season conference is like guys are gonna get hurt.
There's 4 good teams in the NFC. The Cowboys, Eagles, Niners, and Lions.
Lions are good, but they won't hold up come
Yeah,
playoffs.
I mean, they're good, but yeah.
But they might win a playoff game, but no more than that.
And it was
Outside of that,
great
it's
at
bad.
work all fucking year, dude. I work for a Cleveland-based company. I had to hear everybody making fun of Russ. The Browns have a Super Bowl defense. The Browns gonna make it to the Super Bowl. Russ stinks. Ha ha. 70 points. Ha ha. You ran into a bunch of men yesterday, dude. Grown ass fucking men who put the Browns on their fucking asses. A team that is very good. But again, their offense is JV offense. Their defense is incredible. That's what happens when you run into men. That's what happens when you run into a group of men that are on a mission. You got a Super Bowl winning quarterback. You got a Super Bowl winning head coach. And we're fucking riding, dog. Let's fucking ride.
Let Russ cook.
Let the man cook.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Brady.
I'm riding high too.
Yeah.
Canada's finally gone. 50.
They threw the ball down the field.
They did.
Pickett threw some dimes.
He had some bad plays earlier in the game, but
Yeah.
then I mean he came out and
They threw it in the middle of the field down the field.
so every week they tweet out like his completion, like where it was on the field,
Yeah.
like they tweet that. And every week before this, everything was to the outside.
Yeah.
And this week, like it was in the middle, like spread out
Yeah.
everywhere. I think it was Jalen Warren that came out and he was like, I don't know how to say this, but I don't want to be rude. We're taking risks.
Yeah.
Like, we got to air it out, and we're doing that now, and we
Yeah.
didn't before. So that was
Who dropped the touchdown pass?
Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, he's a cocksucker.
Please comment on him because he's the most laziest motherfucker I've ever seen on the field.
He's so good and so bad at the same time.
Yeah. He doesn't try.
he doesn't have great hands.
No.
Even
But he's good somehow.
He's like a good little possession receiver, like a slot receiver. He should have been benched after that fumble. After he didn't try, he was like, I didn't see it. It's like, no, you fucking saw it and you just started walking.
Yeah.
He should have been benched after that, but Tomlin doesn't have the balls to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just happy we put up 400 yards of offense.
Yeah.
First time in 58 games.
And still only scored what? Fucking
16
points.
Yeah. But Freiermuth is finally back healthy. He had over 100 yards.
He played good, yep.
Yeah.
Najee played really well.
Najee played good.
McAfee's tweet had me dying, dude.
What'd he say?
It was a picture of Najee Harris, and then it was like the gif where like the guy's like brushing off his glasses, and then the next pick was the bus. Jerome Bettis. I was like, what the fuck?
He has so much potential. Like, he'll have a game like that where he plays really well, and then another game where it's just like, well, you're not running hard at all. And
He looks like he's stuck in mud.
You can be too big as a running back. He's too big.
Did they say he's 240 pounds? I swear to God, I think they said
He's
that's
like
on there.
6'2", 240.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a big
something like
boy.
that.
That's a
He's
big
huge.
boy.
You've never seen him run me over, though.
Yeah.
Never.
a fact.
That is a fact.
You can call it a coincidence that when Canada's gone, first game, we have 400 yards of offense, but that would be wrong. Like, the reason was Canada.
I agree.
Now, Kenny Pickett, we got to judge him now if he's it.
Yeah.
I think he'll be perfect with the weapons around him. He's not going to be MVP or anything like that, but, he can win you games, and he's shown he can come back in the fourth quarter.
Couldn't beat the Browns, though.
We got a favorable schedule. If we don't make the playoffs, the season's a fail.
Yeah. I agree 100%.
Wait, I take that back. It's not a fail, exactly, because we got rid of Canada. So the season's a success already.
All right, well, I got a question then. If you don't make the playoffs, when are you going to fire Mike Tomlin? Because how long are we just going to let Mike Tomlin
Go over 500.
ride the fucking bus going over 500 with all these athletes and doing nothing with them?
I think he put himself not on the hot seat, but it's a little bit warm now because he tied his job to Canada. So there was conflicting reports if he fired Canada or if Art Rooney did. If he couldn't get the balls to fire him,
I just think the problem, and I like Mike Tomlin as a person. Let's just get that out there.
he's a player's coach.
No
I
doubt.
think the problem
cheerleader.
is the Steelers ride on this value of we've only had 3 coaches since 1947 or whatever the year is. That's cool, dude, but I hate to keep coming back to this, but Tomlin has had some massive talent on his team. And he
Yeah.
really hasn't been able to win much.
Mm-hmm.
Going over 500 is cool, but Super Bowls are cooler, you know?
Yeah. He should have done something with Ben, Bell, and Brown. One of the years
And Sanders
and
Martavius Bryant.
one of the years they were hurt. That might have been their best year, and
Mhm.
they were all, not all of them, but some of them were hurt, so that fucked him over there.
The best year was the year you guys lost to the Patriots in that AFC Championship game on the road. That was the team that should have won it all. And that was
I
up
forget
at
how long.
993. I remember watching that in the basements. That's years ago.
Yeah. If he doesn't make the playoffs this year, his seat's a little bit warm.
They're making the playoffs.
They won't fire him. There's no shot. But fans will start to get tired of him.
I forgot how ass Steeler fans can be. I was at the bar yesterday.
You are
and
one.
Yeah, low key I am, and I was a little ashamed of it yesterday. Everything's Pickett's fault anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It is so annoying. He would be getting hit. Their line stinks. Their offensive line stinks.
It stinks, and it's still a little bit better than last year.
Yeah, it's bad. So he would get hit instantly if he threw into the crowd. Oh, fucking Pickett. I'd rather have Rudolph in there, blah, blah, blah. So it hit a point where, during the game, I didn't give a shit. Like, if the Steelers would do something bad on defense, I just started going, oh, fucking Pickett's fault. What
So
the
great.
fuck? And, like, I just can't take... I understand the frustration. I do. Their offense is boring. But they looked so much different yesterday, regardless of putting up, 16 points like we said or whatever.
Pickens was hurt also.
Yeah, like, the offense obviously looked better. Like, give it a couple weeks, I think they're going to be okay. He played fine yesterday. I don't care what anyone says. He threw that dime to Deontay Johnson. He should have caught it for a touchdown. It might have been a touchdown. He had 3 freaking feet in before he fumbled.
Yeah, they were
close.
They were saying like if he would have challenged that, they could have won it, and then Warren fumbles it right after that.
Kenny
So
P's
that-
getting the rush treatment, dude.
Everything's
his fault.
Everything is his fault right now.
Steeler fans need something to blame.
Now
like
the
someone to
Canada's
blame
gone,
now.
it's going to Pickett.
Yeah.
So I was very annoyed yesterday. I started not going back at him, but making comments like that, like everything that happened. Oh, Pickett's fault, blah blah blah.
He had
So I
a
just
couple.
had to get that off my chest.
He had a couple throws that were like, oh fuck, what was
He
that?
still had some bad throws.
And then
no
you
doubt.
look at it, it's like, oh well, he was like pressured heavily.
Yeah.
Or like he got hit as he threw
Yeah.
it, so it's like, okay, that wasn't necessarily his
That's
fault.
what's funny about Phantom though. Tell me a quarterback that doesn't make multiple
No
bad
one's
throws in a
perfect.
game.
Yes,
I
they
mean,
all
like
make bad throws.
Tom Brady did it. I mean, Peyton used to do it.
Mahomes does.
Mahomes
it. I mean,
does
they
Peyton
all
throws
do it.
spiral his last like 5 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. But again, I guess that's just fandom, but drives me crazy too.
Yeah.
So
Also,
I get it.
It's hard to throw a good pass when you have like someone 6'5", 280
In your grill.
running
Yes.
in your face to crush you.
Yes. So,
How do you feel about the Cowboys?
oh, they're unbelievable. I don't give a shit if they're beating these bad teams. Beat someone good. You fucking lost to the Niners and the Eagles. I don't give a shit.
And the Cardinals.
Yeah, and the Cardinals. They're doing what they're supposed to do. They are not even in games with these bad teams. They're bending them over and spanking them like they should. They are I need them. It's not going to fucking happen. The Eagles won't fucking lose. I wish somehow they could win the division because I swear to God, if they could get home field, they would go to the Super Bowl. They are so freaking good at home. It's unbelievable. Every team they play at home, they absolutely kick the living shit out of them. Their lines are huge every week, and they are covering with ease. I mean, what was it on Thanksgiving? It was 13 covered with ease.
Oh yeah.
The week before they're on the road against Carolina, covered with ease. The week before that, the Giants, 17-point favorites, covered with ease. This week against Seattle, I think they're 8.5 point favorites at home Thursday night. They're going to cover with ease. They are going to, I'm giving it out now, they are going to pound Seattle. Seattle, no offense to Geno, but he might have been a one-year wonder.
Not going to hurt my feelings.
Yeah,
saying
they
that.
look bad. Like they do not look good. It's just I don't know. I'm high on them right now. Dak for MVP. I'm saying it. Keep rolling, and just pray. Beat Philly. Pray Philly loses one. Pray somehow you can win the division. It's gonna be tough. Philly keeps freaking sneaking these games out, man. It's crazy.
I mean, all you guys have to do is basically win out, which is doable for the Cowboys because they're good. Beat Philly.
Yeah.
That puts Philly at 2 losses, and hope and pray to God that they somehow lose one
Yeah.
or even 2.
I mean, they could have lost yesterday to Buffalo. They could have lost the week before to Kansas City. But they keep just squeaking these freaking games out somehow. It's a little annoying. I hate Philly so much, but I don't know. I'm high on the Cowboys right now, and I know they're not playing anyone. But like I said, they're doing what they need to do against these bad teams and just kicking the living shit out
You're
of
staying
them.
healthy,
Yeah.
which is the biggest
Yeah.
part. And
So-
that was a scoregami too, which is kind of crazy.
I love score golf.
Me too.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah.
I saw that this morning.
So, all right. We'll get into the games. Well, I might have to pee too, but we'll
You
start.
can pee.
No,
Go-
we'll start.
Go
We'll
pee.
start.
Go pee, dude.
Okay, I'll go pee.
Yeah, go tinkle, man.
Go ahead. You guys can start because I'm the third pick anyway. So go ahead. Jake,
All right.
read it off.
NFL Week 13, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
We have the Detroit Lions rolling into New Orleans to play the semi-decent Saints, I will say. The Lions are favored by 4. The over-under is 45.5. I think after seeing the stat of Thanksgiving with how the Lions have lost 9 games when a specific moon is out. I don't know if
great.
you guys
I
saw
saw
that. That's kind of wild.
I think it's like 12 games.
Yeah, dude, this is hard.
Okay. Before you give your pick, Chris Olave had a concussion last week, and 9 times out of 10, they do not play the next week.
I know the only reason why I'm hung up on this game is because the Saints are still battling to try to win their division.
That division's so bad.
Which is terrible. I'm gonna give a bounce back game. I'll take the Lions -4 here. I think the Saints are playing decent, but like you just said, with Olave pretty much out, him being the weapon, I see Jared Goff, Big Dan Campbell firing the boys back up. So I'm gonna take Lions taking the points here -4. I could see him winning by a touchdown or so.
Saints, I don't think they're very good. Olave's probably out, but the Lions, Goff has been a turnover machine his last 2 games, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But they got a lot of weapons on offense. I think Jameson Williams is finally like getting up to speed, and they're going to start using him more. I like the Lions -4, even though it's in New Orleans, which I don't like, but give me Lions -4 with that offense.
I'm also going with the Lions -4. For whatever reason, they just suck on Thanksgiving.
Did you see that stat with that moon though? It's actually fascinating.
So funny.
Like there's like I said 9, he said 12. Somewhere in that range, when there is a specific moon out, they don't win.
Dating back to like the 70s, maybe.
Yeah. And
That's weird.
The same moon was out either. I can't remember if it's the day before or it's supposed to be that day. It was the same moon, and the Lions lost, which is kind of an insane stat.
Yeah, that's strange.
Which
yeah,
I'm going to follow
feel like
that
they never
stat
play good
from
on
now
Thanksgiving either. Yeah. All right, second game. Broncos at the Texans. Texans are -3.5. Over under is 46.5.
I mean, for me, this is easy. I'm taking the Broncos +3.5 here. Just saw the stat on the old TV there. The Broncos in the last 5 games are number 1 in takeaways and number 2 in opponents' points per game. Their defense is playing unbelievable, even with Kareem Jackson that keeps getting suspended because he's just lighting people the fuck up. PJ Locke stepped in, played well. The fastest white Bronco ever seen.
Was that the cornerback?
Yeah, Riley Moss. He's playing well when he's in there. Obviously, Surtain. The secondary's playing great. I love our linebackers. Love our defensive line. This gonna be a tough game though. I'm not gonna lie here. Texans are rolling. CJ Stroud is a baller.
He's really good.
I'll give that to him. They almost beat the Jags at home this past week. Jags are a great football team. I don't know, man. I really, 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 really believe there's some crazy like magic going on in Denver right now, and I'd be stupid not to ride that train. So I'm taking the Broncos +3.5.
I don't know which way to go with this. CJ Stroud's almost like on an MVP level right now. If he takes him to the playoffs, like he needs to be in that conversation.
Agreed.
Oh my
Get
God.
lit! Get lit up, bitch! Get lit the fuck up, dog.
Ripped.
Texans are good. Like they have good wide receivers. Stroud's an animal. I'm gonna take the over 46.5. I know Surtain's out there, but whoever he guards, which I assume's Tank Dell, he can also throw it in.
A beast.
Nico Collins or Neil Brown's had. Is it
Neil Brown?
Neil? He played for the Cowboys. Who is it? Neil,
What position?
wide receiver. Who is it?
Noah Brown.
Noah Brown.
Yeah.
He's had some good games, so I think they're going to put up points. So I'm just going to take over 46.5.
I'm taking the Broncos +3.5 as well.
Woo!
I think the Texans are definitely good, but I still think people are just a little too high on them. Broncos, hottest team in the NFL, obviously. Like I said, I think Houston's just they are good. They're a good team, but I still just think people are a little too high on them. That's why I'm taking the Broncos +3.5. I think this is a field goal game either way. So
let's ride.
Third game, Browns at the Rams. Rams are -4.5. Over under is 39.5.
Browns are banged up. DTR's in concussion protocol. Myles Garrett got hurt. They are staying out on the West Coast this week, but I can't believe I'm about to say this. I'm going to take the Rams -4.5.
Dude, Matt Stafford is still so good.
Agreed.
Oh,
He
yeah.
is still so good.
He's going to play as long as he can, too. I don't know which way to go with this. 4.5, it's a decent amount of points for good defense with the Browns. I'm just going to take the under 39.5.
I'm riding with you there, Brady. Cleveland's has some serious quarterback problems. Their defense is really good. Rams obviously still have a pretty decent defense, so I'm also going to ride the under 39.5.
It's going to be insane when Flacco starts this weekend.
It's a possibility. It really is.
Did he get in at all?
No, he wasn't dressed.
Wasn't dressed.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. This is the week. This has to be the week. Please, God, let this be the week. 49ers at the Eagles. Niners are -2.5. Over under is 46.5.
Honestly, this is probably the toughest game for me to
It's gonna
decide
be a great
here.
fucking game.
This will be a great football game here. Kind of shocked that the Niners are favored on the road if I'm keeping it 100. So I'm just going to take the safe bet and take over 46.5. I could see this being a shootout and points.
For the games where it's like two top teams in the NFL, you always assume like it's going to be a lot of points. I think it's going to kind of disappoint in that department. Give me the under 46.5. It's going to be close, but not a lot of points. 2017, something like that.
I'm going with the Niners -2.5.
Woo!
Straight up. Philly just keeps sneaking these games out against good teams. They are so due to lose one of these. The Niners are completely healthy again, have been for about 2-3 weeks again. They look like back to the Niners that they did the beginning of the year. So I'm going to take San Francisco -2.5.
What's your thoughts on the Eagles head coach?
I hate Nick Sirianni.
I can't stand him.
I hate Nick. He's a vintage. He just looks like a vintage fucking Philly scumbag, and I hate him.
Yeah, I kind of liked him early on, I'm not going to lie, but the more he talks, the more I can't really get behind him, I guess. But he is perfect for Philadelphia.
Yeah,
so
he
I'll leave it
is
at that.
literally perfect for Philadelphia. And the thing is, I love Jason Kelsey. I even like freaking Jesus God, Jalen Hurts. It's just I hate Philly a lot.
I mean, you should. You're a Cowboys
Yeah, I
fan.
hate them a lot. So, give me the Niners. This is the week. It's got to be.
Not shocked you chose the Niners.
Yeah,
Betting with your heart.
kind of a little bit. Yeah.
He's gotta.
yeah, I do.
Which I don't know how Niners are favored, to be honest.
I know, that's
they'll look like the Niners from the beginning of the year again.
Yeah,
they look
but
unstoppable again. I mean, Philly's
I assume
really
Purdy's
good too,
playing
but
better because he had
yeah.
a couple bad games.
like I said, they're completely healthy again, which is huge for them.
Yeah.
Big Jared did tell me he doesn't see, if the Niners are healthy, he doesn't see anybody beating them
I
in the
can see
NFC.
that. Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Which I'm surprised CAF has stayed healthy.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, he has.
That was a gamble for them trading for
yeah,
him.
no doubt. All right, Chiefs at the Packers. Chiefs are -6.5, over under 42.5. Another sneaky team. Is Jordan Love starting to find a little bit of a groove? He looks pretty damn
He's
good.
He's a good fantasy quarterback too.
Yeah, I mean, the Packers are starting to play some good football too.
He spreads it out pretty well.
Yeah,
Like Christian Watson wasn't
he
playing that
finally
great.
played well.
Yeah.
On Thanksgiving. Yeah, I love their receiving core. It's really like not a big name on it, but
Romeo
just a couple dudes.
Dubes,
Javon, is it Reed? Javon Reed? or-
Reed, yeah,
he's good.
They
too.
like him a lot.
Yeah, they do. So
The running back,
AJ
Dylan.
Dillon.
Yeah, he's
is Aaron
tough.
Jones out? He's out again. Is he?
I feel like I don't even remember hearing his name at all this
He
year.
didn't play against. He was back. He was hurt, then back for a game or two. Then he got hurt again. I don't know how long he's out for though.
AJ Dillon's good though. He was a monster. at
Dude,
BC.
he's a thick boy.
Oh,
His
he's
legs
big.
are massive.
He's a big dog. But I'm kind of riding with you here, man. Chiefs have been sneaking out these wins, dude. They've been sneaking out the wins,
going to
and
Lambeau. Ain't
now
easy to
all of
go
a
to
sudden,
Lambeau.
there's a team right behind him that's coming for the top division spot. I'm taking the Packers plus 6.5 here. I really am. Packers have been balling. The Chiefs have just been figuring out ways to win. I know that's football. I know that's ball. Packers are now battling for a playoff spot as well. I'm just going to shout out my boy Ty Schmidt on the Pat McAfee show, and I'm going to ride with his Packers this week because I fucking hate Travis Kelce.
AJ Hawk, other Pack guy, right?
Yeah, and AJ Hawk. Love AJ Hawk. And I just can't stand Travis Kelce. Has nothing to do with Taylor Swift. I've always hated Travis Kelce. He's a cocksucker. I can't stand him. Let's go Pack.
I was hoping for a snow game,
Mm-hmm.
just like Iowa State, Kansas
That
State.
game was sweet.
I
was
turned it
raw.
on. I was like, I'm watching it just for the snow.
Yeah,
That's the only reason.
Yeah.
It's 70% chance of precipitation, but it's like rain and snow. So
Uh-huh.
I'm Karen Reed, and there's a 60% chance it's already raining.
I'm taking the over 42.5. Both offenses are good, so I don't see it going under at all.
Brady, I'm once again riding with you. I like the over 42.5 regardless of the weather. So.
Which I don't know why it's so low for these two teams.
Chiefs defense is really good. I'll give them credit. Green Bay, I think defense has been playing a lot better as well. So that's the only thing I can think of. Maybe a little weather related as well. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna roll the dice, take the over as well. So
And dude, I just got to vent real quick, dude. I'm sorry. I'm
Go
still
ahead.
on
Go
it, dude.
ahead.
Fuck, we beat the Chiefs. All Patrick Mahomes is sick. We beat the Bills. All Josh Allen sucks. We beat the Browns. All they don't have a quarterback and their defense is hurt. Keep fucking making excuses, dude. That's all I have to say.
When Kelsey retires, do you see Mahomes taking a big dip in his like production? I do.
yeah, they definitely have to, dude.
They don't have like
Their receivers drop so many balls. It is insane.
it was what 2 weeks ago. Justice Watson or whatever his name is, Watson.
It was the game against Philly. They
Yeah.
had so many drops.
They kept throwing it to him, and he kept dropping it. It's like, put
Yes.
someone else in. I know you have somebody. Why
Him
do
and
you?
what's his name? Who's the dude that played for the Giants? Kadarius Toney. He dropped so many
Yeah,
balls.
they just key on featuring one specific player a week, and I don't know why. And they just keep throwing it to him, even if they're dropping it.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say about Mahomes. Do I think the productivity could drop when Kelsey's gone? Yes. But I also think we're forgetting he's going to get an entire new wave of athletes that come in after Kelsey's gone.
You would they haven't gotten it yet, and the receivers. I mean, my auto's good, but he's 33 years old.
I just think Kelsey somehow probably still has 2 or 3 seasons, and by that time they'll have
Auto.
Something in there.
something
Yeah.
in there.
My auto,
What you call me?
my auto, Kelsey.
Vibrato?
It's
All
that
right.
State Farm commercial.
Fuck him.
We
Fuck
are-
State Farm.
We're done with football.
It's
done with
over?
football.
Forever?
Done.
Sad.
Done. Time
Sad.
for my segment.
Let's go.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Let's get it, dog.
They're moving on to the elimination round in the in-season tournament. 4-0. 4-0. They didn't lose a game, Brady. AD's still healthy, Brady. LeBron is still dominating the NBA, Brady.
I have no qualms with LeBron. He's the GOAT.
Thank you. Old Goat James.
He is. I mean, at 36-year-old,
37.
37, if you're still
be
dominating like that,
38.
like you're the greatest of all time.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're to the point now where if people don't call him the GOAT, you're just a hater.
Yeah,
at
I
this
agree.
point,
They're
my
stuck in their
opinion.
old ways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been blessed with health and everything and his physical ability, but like
Yeah.
no one else can do that. He did.
So they are 11-7 now. They beat the Cavs the other night, big dub. AD finally played very well. He's been stinking. The Lakers still aren't completely healthy. They need some key bench pieces back. I'm happy with how they're playing though. And I will just leave that at that. So there's my Laker minute.
Hockey?
I am claiming a championship if they win the in-season tournament.
Oh, wow.
I am claiming one.
Oh, wow.
Imagine that on LeBron's resume. First ever in-season tournament champion.
I mean, he can claim it.
I'm getting a shirt.
I would.
Yeah, if they
Why
win it.
not?
Yeah.
I'd probably
Get
get
a
a shirt too.
Yeah.
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 Good shirt, dude.
So I'm happy right now. Capitals been rolling a little bit too, Brady.
I've been surprised.
The way they started the year, I was like, they stink.
Yeah. Ovechkin didn't look good to
Yeah,
start.
I don't watch a lot of the games, but I get all the updates. They just like keep pulling them out. Like there's a lot of games they're behind, like down like 2-0, something like that. Come back, win in overtime. I'm like, I love to see it.
And they don't have Backstrom
Yeah.
and they're still doing well. I don't know, like the young guys on their team that are doing well, but I
I don't
assume
know if
they
they'll
are.
be able to keep it up or not, but we'll see.
So what you're saying is the Caps are the Eagles. They keep winning games somehow.
Yeah, somehow they do. It's nice. Yeah.
It's hard to do that for 82 games, though.
It is, exactly. I mean, they came out, even last year they came out pretty hot, and then they sucked at the end of the year, kind of like the Penguins. So,
That
it's probably
happens.
because both the teams are ancient. And
Oh, yeah.
they get tired at the end of the year.
Penguins might have the oldest team in the NHL.
Oh, yeah, they're very old.
They're playing
They're not playing bad either.
They're playing pretty well. 5-on-5, they're great. And then for some reason, like they can't figure out the power play yet. They honestly have like too many weapons
What?
on the power play. When when you
Okay.
have too many
Okay,
like
yeah, I know
star
what you mean.
players, it's hard. Like any one of those guys could be the quarterback of the power play. So they're going to be trying to figure it out all year. I think they tried to split up the units, like power play 1, power play 2. I don't think it worked out too well. So that's going to be a project all year. If they get that figured out, they're really dangerous.
Dude, nothing pisses me off more than when your team's on a power play and they just like pass it and they have it in the zone for like 30, 40 seconds but don't take a shot because they're just like looking for like the perfect shot.
Penguins
I'm like,
do that all
dude,
the time.
just fucking fire the fucking pucks on net.
Pucks on net.
Pucks on net. Always. It's
Sticks
like,
on puck.
yeah, just fucking fire the thing, dude. Give yourself a chance. I
I played
just
NHL.
annoying.
I
It's
know
like,
what to do.
oh, fucking power play. They got one shot. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I hate when you're on the power play too and no one's in front of the net.
Yeah.
Like
Get your ass in front of the net.
just Hornquist, he was perfect at that. He just stood right in front of the
I hate
net,
that fucker.
and he had so many goals just like getting garbage
Yeah,
rebounds.
yeah,
That
all you gotta
you
do.
need that.
So, all right, there's our Laker segment, NHL. We will end it with college hoops. Boys, how we feeling? Talk to me. Talk to me.
Truthfully, we're where I thought we would be with the situation at hand.
Yeah.
I think it's very hard to win games against teams when you're only rotating 7 guys, but 6 of them are pretty much playing the whole game. I think the battle thing hurts.
Yeah, that's
A
very
cock getting hurts. I genuinely am worried about what we're going to look like in Big 12 play. And I told Brady that if we can win more than 12 games this year, I look at that as a success. Because then all we have to do is win the Big 12 tourney to get in. No big deal.
Yeah.
Easy. I think there's still a glimmer of hope that somehow Battle can come back. It's the same thing with Tez Walker. I don't see it happening, but I think
you get Carissa back soon.
we get Carissa back soon, which is big. Just another body out there. I don't know. I could be wrong on this. But I will sit and say I'm so proud of the guys. They play hard as fuck the entire game, and they just get worn out. And truthfully, I cannot be upset with them for getting worn out. I'm proud. Every time I watch them, I know the games are going to be close. They don't ever give up. They're always trying. They're always hustling. And pretty big news that the Black Unis are coming back. I don't know if you saw.
They've been teasing that a while, and Ren Baker's actually been like interacting with people
Yeah.
about it.
Black Unis are coming back against Pitt. Pitt's funeral. Can't wait for that to happen. But honestly, I'm not upset. I don't think I can be upset. These guys didn't have to stay at WVU. Who am I to get on them for being loyal? And they're playing hard. It's not like they're not playing hard. So, yeah, the record's not where I'd like it to be, but I'm proud of the guys. Proud of them.
I don't care who we play. We're not blowing anybody out with 7, 8 guys in the rotation. Eilert even said the other day, like, it was hard to get a good practice in because the guys are so tired.
Yeah.
Like, they start out good, and then they either fade or they start out bad, and then they play good. Like, when you're playing that many minutes every single night, you're not going to get a good practice. Players are going to get tired in the second half. If you just squeak out a win, it's a positive. And you kind of see that with how the players talk and how Eilert talks too. As long as like we're competitive, I'm happy this year. Like we need a floor general, so Carissa coming back is going to help hell of a lot.
Agreed.
Kobe's good. He's played a lot better than I expected, but he's not like he's not your starting point guard. So Kriisa coming back, I think that's going to help tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
I just worry about we don't have big men depth, and that's where I can't expect Jesse Edwards to play 32, 36 minutes every game.
He's going to
get double doubles. I mean, I hope he does.
Yeah,
I hope
he
he
has
does.
to.
But like, I can't expect him to be able to perform like that all year with really no solid backup. And truthfully, I don't even know if a Cock or a Cook's even going to come back.
I wouldn't be surprised if his career's just done.
Yeah.
Which sucks, but that happens too.
So I mean, again, I'll leave it at this, and then you could talk about Pitt, Ty. There's only one guy to blame in this whole situation, and if you're not blaming the one guy and you're blaming elsewhere, you're a fucking idiot, and that just is what it is. We had an incredible lineup coming in. We had an incredible team coming in. Huggs not only made one bad decision, he made two bad decisions, and he somehow survived the first one, which is insane. There's only one man to blame on this.
That drunk bastard.
Yeah, there's only one man to blame on this, and if you're blaming anybody else, you need to fucking take a look in the mirror and realize that, yes, we had a national championship contending roster, and now we don't. And there's only one reason why, and I'll just leave it at that.
Still love Huggs, though.
Still love him. I love him as a guy. He has created some of my greatest sports memories, but I got to hold him accountable, just like Steelers fans have to hold Mike Tomlin accountable.
Right.
I've told Bob Huggins accountable.
He said he hasn't had a sip since. I call complete bullshit.
He's
on
skinny
that.
as fuck now.
Well, maybe he hasn't.
He
then.
might not have, because I think he's going to try to come back.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
don't think he will, but I think like he will try. Now, in regards to our big men, how we have 1.5, I don't even consider Sumnick like a center. He's
he's a power forward.
He's a
that's
power forward
forced
off
to
the
play
bench.
center. Yeah.
Jimmy Bell is producing. He's almost averaging a double-double against shit competition, but he's doing it.
It's just what he did last year. I'm not
Yeah.
going to suck Jimmy Bell's dick like you do. He did the same thing last year.
Wagi, he's coming off the bench. He's doing okay, and Okonkwo's just not fucking playing for UNC, which, shocker. Like, you weren't ready to leave.
He's the one that kills me the most, I
Yeah.
think, about all of them, because he had the most upside out of all three of those guys that you said.
Not ready for UNC
No.
at all.
He would have been a perfect reliever for Edwards to get
Oh, yeah.
a breather. He's the one that I get very upset about, because he was coming on towards the end of the season. He was he was a great defensive presence, and Wagi, shout out my man Wagyu Beef. I loved him, but I would have rather had Okonkwo than Wagi and Bell, but at this stage I would have taken any of them because we don't have any depth.
Mhm.
Any of them would have played 25 minutes a night.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not Bell because he would have gotten into foul trouble, but if we could have used any one of those three, and it would have helped out a lot. How you feeling about Pitt?
I got humbled.
Which game? I bet
Florida
on
fucking humbled
I
us.
bet on the freshman over on points, and he had like 5.
Yeah, he's stunk the last couple games.
Which he's a freshman.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
I still feel good about him. Like it was their first big test against Florida. They played well up until like the last couple minutes of the first half. Florida went on like an 8-0 run. Like Pitt just lost all momentum. Got their ass kicked in the second half. Then they played Oregon State after that. The day after Thanksgiving, came back, won by like 25, which I'll take a Power 5 win. I don't care who it is. Like winning by 25 against a Power 5 team, I'll take it all the time. We're recording on Monday. Tomorrow is the ACC SEC Challenge. They play Missouri at home, so that'll be a big game. I'm high on them though. They're 5-1. I mean, you're not going to win every game. You know what I mean? So
you should be worried because this shouldn't happen if WVU beats Pitt. Then you should worry.
yeah, the only thing that scares me about that game is playing it in Morgantown. If it was in Pitt, I think we'd beat you by 20, 30 points.
Yeah, and you should.
Yeah,
You should.
Yeah.
You should.
but playing in Morgantown really scares me. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I will say too, I just remembered this in the Virginia game. Never seen a coach be able to call a timeout when somebody's
He had the ball.
getting ready to shoot a foul shot. Like
Yeah.
pretty much, that was the first time I've ever seen that. In
Quinn
my
was
life.
pissed.
Mhm.
Wasn't it Quinn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He looked over at the bench, I think, and someone even said, like, I'd never have known Tony Bennett to do something like that.
Yeah.
Like, that was a bad move.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out my man Quinn. Quinn is my guy on this team. Do think getting Kerr back will help relieve the pressure off of guys to where they can play more loose. Because Kerr is a pass first point guard.
Yeah.
And that's what we need. That's what we've actually needed for a couple years now.
Him being able to drive it in and just dish it out to somebody is going to help a lot.
But I will say it's fucking awesome being able to see guys actually oop Edwards in game.
Which Kerr should be able to do that 3 times a game.
WVU never dunks.
No,
like-
that always happens to us.
Yeah, ever dunks. It's just cool to see him dunking, actually. Which I know is like a corny thing to say, but it's cool.
It looks so effortless, too. Like,
It's
he
great.
doesn't even have to jump very high, and it's just in.
And I think Seth's putting a lot of pressure on himself, and I think that's why he's not playing as well.
Yeah, which, I mean, he'll play better. Josiah's getting good shots. They're just not falling, which
They will.
he'll get into rhythm. It'll be better. I think we'll play a lot better coming up, and then Big 12 play, like, it'll be a struggle.
Yeah,
Especially with Houston to start.
I just sit back and I'm like, what if the ideal scenario is to survive the non-conference, being over 500, and somehow getting a God's grace on this earth that their NCAA's like Battle can play, and we fucked up. And then we go into Big 12 play with Battle, completely changes the team.
So, say,
Cause shout out him, dude, for pulling his card.
oh, yeah, he did it well. Say if we get 3 games in the Big 12 play and they rule him eligible, like, I almost want him not to play. Because then it's like we're already out. Like, we're not going to make the tournament 3 games in because we're probably going to lose several more games.
Dude, but wouldn't you rather, though, him be able to play late and us somehow go on an insane Big 12 tourney run?
Yeah, that's what we would need.
Yeah.
But even that's like a shot in the dark.
Because Emmett did it. Shout out Emmett Matthews. He figured out the year that Texas Tech lost to Virginia in the national championship game, that was the semifinals, and we almost beat Texas Tech and almost went to the championship game. So it's doable, but there are more teams, so it's going to be.
I watched Baylor the other day too, and Jalen Bridges was absolutely cooking.
Yeah, I always watch his stats.
Yeah.
And he's playing pretty well. That hurts.
Fuck him.
He was like 4 or 5 from 3 or something, or like 5 or 6. Yeah, he is cooking.
Boo!
He's the one that, like, I don't like anymore. Like, Okonkwo, Bell, Wagi, like, they had a reason to
Don't
leave.
forget Trey Mitchell.
Trey Mitchell, Toussaint also, but he left, I think, before all that because he wanted more playing time, which he's playing pretty well.
Pretty sure the only one that left before was Toussaint, right? Trey Mitchell was still on that team with
Mitchell
Hugs
was
and
still on the
Edwards.
team, I
Yeah,
think.
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know, dude. Yeah, the one that hurts me the most is Jalen Bridges, and this is just a homer thing because he's an actual West Virginia guy that grew up 30 minutes from Morgantown. So
Yeah.
that one hurts more than any of these other nerds.
That's all I got though.
Yeah.
All me.
I'm trying to
That's all I
think.
got.
I know this isn't sports, but Surviving Barstool's back.
Oh yeah, it's 8 o'clock.
That's going to be an electric factory. WVU soccer
Saturday.
Saturday. They're in the quarterfinals.
Boys?
Marshall's out.
Boys, Marshall got beat. Sorry, little bro, you
3-0.
fucking lost. Yeah, WVU plays Saturday against, I think it's the number 16 team in the country, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I it's not like a huge name
Already sold
that
out.
I know.
Already
Yeah.
sold out in Morgantown. The boys are rolling. Shout out them. Shout out to football. Football's getting a little bigger in the States. Becoming a little bigger thing.
It'll get there.
It'll get there. But yeah, boys, I don't know. It's been a time. I've had fun seeing you guys. Make sure to follow me. Well, don't follow me. Follow the Juice Box podcast on YouTube. And yeah, subscribe. Looking forward to bowl season coming up.
Yes.
We're all very close, and this is the time where you make up ground. Thank you.
Follow me on Twitter, Brady_21_. That's all I got.
X and Instagram at TylerDro24_. That is at TylerDro24_. Peace out.